Welcome back to Spiked Coffee and Sarcasm with Chris and Van.
Hi, Van.
Hi,
I was trying
Chris.
to be like way over the top elaborate with that. How'd I do?
You did pretty well, but I'm going to give you a pass on that one because it is 10 o'clock my time and pretty much midnight your time. So,
yes. A little delirious about now.
This episode might get a little delirious, and I'm drinking coffee I am actually drinking spiked coffee right now, which is kind of cool. See?
I know, I kind of hate you right now. I'm just saying.
Sorry, that's why you should always have Bailey's on hand. I'm just saying.
But I can't drink coffee right now. I'd be wide awake. And even though I'm tired, I'd still be wide awake. And don't tell me about decaf. That's the devil. I know that's what you were going to say.
I know. And I agree. I don't drink decaf coffee on a normal basis. But when I do want something warm, like in the winter, and I'm not a big fan of hot chocolate, like it's okay, but not my favorite, but I want to drink coffee, I will drink decaf coffee with Bailey's or Kahlua or something like that in it.
Oh, so you just need a base to pour in your, your guilty pleasure.
Exactly.
Okay.
See? You're getting it. You're understanding now.
See, I may take a minute, but I catch up. What's your cup? Is that a spiked coffee cup?
No, it's a Snoopy cup. It's Snoopy.
Well, at least then I don't have to have my heart broken because you're drinking out of a spiked coffee mug and I'm not.
Well, okay, first of all, I don't drink out of my spiked coffee and sarcasm coffee cup that my father made for me. It is sitting on my desk so I can look at it and admire it. I have not drank anything out of it yet. When I send you my cup that I made for you, we will drink spiked coffee out of it together. How about that?
Okay, but are we going to send it sometime this year?
You know what? Shut the fuck up. Okay, shut the bleep up. And I will get it to you this week. Can we, move on now? Are we...
Okay, but you don't have to say shut the bleep up, really, because in these ones, we're telling Mom not to listen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay. So you can say fuck if you want.
So then just shut the fuck up and let's get to our questions.
Okay, I'll start the questions out then.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, everybody, to our very late and very fun... And I love doing these with you, Van. I really do. So we'll start out. We're just going to ask each other some questions and see if we either know the answer or if we're surprised by it. Okay.
You go first.
So, what do you judge people for most often?
Oh, God. I don't judge anybody. I am not a judgmental person. I do not judge people. No, I'm just kidding. What do I judge people the most often?
I could ask you a different question.
No, it's okay. I honestly try not to judge people. I'm going to say that first. I honestly try not to pass judgment on somebody. I don't know how to answer this question.
You know what? Let's because it's such okay, so people in general are judgmental without even being meaning to be. It just absolutely happens. And
okay.
I
can answer it.
Okay,
go ahead. I can answer it. I judge people by the way they dress. I do. If somebody's wearing something just weird, I'm like, why? Why? Do you have a mirror in your home that lies to you, or do you just not own a mirror?
Or not care what the mirror says.
Well, that too, because I have somebody who's in the close circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna put it that way. That sometimes I question a lot of things. When I see that person, I look at him and go, that's interesting choice, but okay, we'll go with it. So, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What you were gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say that I got a hard lesson in judgmental or judging people. It wasn't too long ago. I picked something out. I don't remember the circumstances, but me and Katie were out and about. And I said something, and she had something like a negative reaction to everything that I picked up. After the third or fourth time, I finally went, "Why are you so judgmental?" And she looked at me in pure confusion and surprise. How could you say I'm judgmental? But I realized that we both do it. Like, we were both judging each other based on what we were wearing. So I do the same thing, and it's never intentionally done to hurt anybody's feelings or whatever. Like, people watching, you're just, that's a fancy or not so fancy way of saying you're sitting around watching people and you're judging what they're doing. You're just watching them. So I think it's human nature to be a little judgmental, but some people are really bad.
Well, and I think there's a difference, like you bring up people watching. I think that there's a difference between people watching and, because usually when you're people watching, those people don't know that you're watching them. You know what I mean? Like my mom and I like to, when she's here, we like to people watch. It's, it's fun. Airports are really good to people watch. Malls are really good to people watch. And we do say things to each other, but we're not saying it to anybody that knows that person or to that person. Like, that person's just walking by. They're never even going to know anything that we said. So I don't really consider that to be malicious or, anything like that. And there's a difference between at work, for instance, you're sitting at work and you're at your desk and you're purposely judging your coworker for something, and they're within earshot of you. Yeah. And everybody else around you can hear what you're saying. That's maliciously judging somebody. That's just being mean. So I think that there's a fine line. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with people watching, because I'm not out to hurt anybody. Those people are never even going to know that I said anything about the shoes that they're wearing. You know what I mean? They're just going to go about their day and not even worry about it. So, but I do judge people by what they wear. I do that quite often. But in any case. Oh, my turn. Okay, so it's your turn. Okay. Oh, I'm going to ask this one, but I already know. I pretty much think I know your answer, and I know what my answer is. What do you have a hard time with, but most people find quite easy?
You think you know the answer to that one? Because I don't.
Maybe because I know you better than you know yourself.
Okay, say it again. What is something that you find difficult but most people find easy? Or what do you have a hard time with but most people find quite easy? Okay, so for me, as like personally, if you're talking about me, the thing that I find most difficult, giving myself enough credit. Everybody else says that, where everybody says that I do a good job or whatever they're complimenting me on, and I find difficulty in feeling the same way that they do. If that's, I'm kind of confused by that question because it's vague, so I don't know what context it's meant to be in. If they're talking about, I find running difficult, where there's a couple of people that do that all the time. And does that sound silly? I don't know.
No, because my answer to that question is math.
Oh. That's not difficult. That's impossipossible. Okay. You should have clarified.
Fair enough. But yeah, that is like, I am in awe of people who can do math. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, or why I think I was just born without that part of your brain that comprehends math. Because
and 30 billion other people.
I know I'm not the only one, but that was the first thing that popped into my head. I think, like, if I were to answer it the way that you answered it, I think that it would be, I have a hard time, I guess it's kind of along the same line as you, is I don't always think that, actually, I always think that people are talking about me. Yeah. Is that weird?
I do that too.
At work, if my boss goes and talks to, like, my senior processor, who I junior for, if they go and talk, or my senior goes into my boss's office or cubicle or whatever, and they're talking, first thing that pops into my head, they're talking about me. What did I do wrong? Oh my gosh, did I forget to do something? Is she complaining about, like, and it's like, I can't get out of my head. Like, my anxiety just,
yep.
oh, it's horrible. And I literally have to tell myself, you're being stupid. Like, you're being ridiculous right now. You need to just stop. And you know what I usually do when that's happening and I start getting into my head like that and I can't stop? I put on music on my phone and I stick my headphones in. And I think about something else and I turn on a podcast or I turn on music or something just to, so I just tone it out.
Have something else to think about. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Pick a funny one. Oh. We need a funny one. Funny one. There's not really a funny one.
Okay. Yes. When was the last time you tried to do something to look cool and it ended in utter embarrassment?
Oh God. The first thing that pops into my head, and this happened a long time ago when I was working at Microage. And I don't know why this story sticks with me, and I'll never forget it. But so we were at lunch and I was standing there talking to two guys that I worked with. We had our company, when you got like a soda or something at work, they came in styrofoam cups. Okay. So one of the guys, we were just talking, goofing around, bantering back and forth or whatever. Well, one of the guys took like a dime or a nickel or a penny or something, some kind of coin, and he like flipped it on the table to where it was spinning.
Yep.
Like really fast. Well, I thought in my head, I'm going to be cool and I'm going to put my cup on top of it to stop it from spinning. But the cup was styrofoam. So the coin went right through the cup and my soda went everywhere. So therefore, I did not look cool. I looked like a complete idiot and everybody was laughing. And I just was like, well, that did not work out the way that it was in my head. Like, in my head, it was really cool. But my head did not think you have a styrofoam cup, not a plastic cup. So that would be my situation.
Okay, so mine would be on my 44th birthday. I jumped on my daughter's hoverboard and I fell and broke my ass.
Oh, yes.
That will be the story that is told at my funeral.
Uh-huh.
Because major cool points lost right there. Totally dropped myself right on my ass and broke it. And it hurt a lot. It hurt my butt. My poor butt.
It hurt a lot.
That would be mine. There was another time I was sitting in a restaurant. This isn't really I wasn't trying to be cool. Except that I was with, Mark and I were just dating, and his cousin, Philip, was there, and then we had another girl named Stephanie was there, and this was the first time I was meeting Stephanie, and she was gorgeous. She's long blonde hair, super thin, very cute, really built well, and so I wanted to make a good impression on her because these are people, friends of his, and I didn't want her to think that I was not friendly or whatever. So we get to this restaurant, we sit down, I'm wearing white pants and a blue shirt. And we're sitting down and we ordered our drinks and I went to pick up a drink and I even had it two-handed and I swear that thing turned into a demon and did a double flip up and poured all down the front of me. White jeans, iced tea. All down the front of me.
Oh,
man. Then they wanted to go to a movie and I said, I'm not going to a movie. And Mark was like, come on, it's going to be dark. I said, I don't care if I'm not going to a movie with iced tea all over the front of me.
Right.
I said, he's like, well, I'm not going to take you home. And he was kidding, of course. But he was like, well, I'm not going to drive all the way back home. I said, then I'm walking. And he looked at me and Stephanie went, and I'm walking with her. We've been friends ever since.
See,
yep.
There you go.
Yep, so we did go home and I changed. And we went and saw a movie.
See, we always get our way.
That's how
it
girls
doesn't matter.
Yeah, girls stick together too. It was really nice to have the backup. So yeah. Anyway, your turn next, or is it my turn? My turn to read.
No,
your turn. Sorry, go ahead.
It's late. People remember it's after midnight there.
It's late.
Okay, what's something that people can go on and on about and you just can't take sitting through.
You know, here's a funny story. I suppose that I could be involved in a conversation, in any conversation, unless, you know, it just so happens that whatever's being talked about and I'm irritated that day, I can't. So there would be, it could be an array of things. This one day in particular, I was having a conversation with somebody at work. I was discussing the job that I was doing, and I happened to run into her in where we were testing one of our units, and she started talking about the types of windows that she had in her house. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and then this window, and then this, and this is how it opened. And I was like, oh, that's really neat, as I'm trying to do this quality report on this window. She would not shut up about the damn windows in her house. She talked and talked and talked. And I mean, it was almost like have you know Forrest Gump, his friend Bubba?
Yeah.
Talked about the shrimp and this shrimp and that shrimp and it was this shrimp. Okay, that's what she was doing, except it was about windows. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah.
Just be quiet.
So
just be quiet.
There's stuff like that, and I hate to say this, but sometimes when it's like late or I'm getting ready to go to bed or whatever, Dylan will come in and he'll be talking about an exciting game. Blah 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 blah, and he can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about this particular game. And I don't mind listening to him. I love listening to his passion, and especially about like basketball and stuff, or stuff that he's really into. But when I'm trying to go to bed, good night, son.
Yeah.
That's when you go, is it really rude to toss the Xanax in their mouth while they're talking?
I don't think it's rude. I just don't think it's legal.
What about you?
So, kind of along the same lines, like what you're talking about with Dylan, but for me, it's in the mornings. Like, I'm not a very good morning person, and I really don't like to talk or have to be an adult or have a conversation before I've had one cup of coffee. I am not a functioning person until I've had a cup of coffee. Like, I know that that's cliche, and I know a lot of people say that, but it is honestly the truth. Like, if you try and have a conversation with me before I've had coffee, I am just going to stare at you with a very blank look on my face, and I may be looking at you, but I am not listening to a fucking word you're saying, because I literally just don't care. And everybody at work knows this about me. So when I come into work, people will look to see what I have on my desk. If I stopped and got coffee and part of it has been drank or drunk or whichever one you use, then they will talk to me. If I do not have any kind of coffee on my desk, they won't talk to me until they know I've had some coffee. Because
that's fantastic.
I'll look at you like, I really don't know why you're trying to talk to me right now, because you're just going to have to repeat this whole conversation after I've had my coffee. Really.
That's great.
So when the kids are in school and I'm getting ready for work, and I don't have a cup of coffee while I'm getting ready for work. It's usually not until after that. Uh-oh, she's having a hot flash.
Hot in here.
It's hot in here.
It's hot in here.
So Ian will be getting ready with me, and he will just be, and I'm like, oh my God. And then like I'll get short with him. Like I won't.
Oh yeah.
I'm not listening to him. I mean, honestly, you're talking. I'm not hearing a word you're saying, because I can't comprehend anything right now. I don't want to. And then he'll be like, he'll ask me for a response. Did you hear that, Mom? Or he'll want, and I'll be like, what? I'll just look at him and go, what? He'll be like, you're not listening to me. No, I sure ain't. I haven't heard a word you said in the last 20 minutes. And I don't, and I tried carpooling once when I worked at Chase Bank. There was a girl that I worked with, and we lived close by, and it's a far drive, so we tried to carpool once. Nope. I don't carpool. No. because all this girl wanted to do was talk the whole way into work. And I'm like, I don't do this because I listen to the radio. I get ready for the work day. I zone out, and she just wanted to.
You just need that quiet. Oh. I totally get that. I get it.
And this girl just wanted to talk. She just wanted to talk. And I'm like, do you know that it's like 7 o'clock in the morning right now? Like, nobody talks this much this early in the morning. And Starbucks people. I don't go to Starbucks anymore because I don't really like Starbucks coffee. And really, any kind of place that you go to in the morning, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever, you've always got that one person that they open up the window and they're like, hi, good morning, how are you? And you're like, No. We're not doing that. No. It is too damn early for that kind of perkiness right now. Don't do that.
I have said that so many times at work, too. Like, I'll walk in the door and somebody will come up to me and be like, hi, Crystal, good morning. And I'm like, no. We're not doing that
Not a
good
yet.
Morning.
No.
Give me a minute. Yeah. I can relate to that. And, I am a coffee drinker, but I will drink, like, I get my, 24-ounce cup, and I'll fill it up with coffee, and that's usually all I'll drink.
Yeah, that's usually me too.
But even at home, and sometimes I'll get more coffee at work, but even at home, I'll make a pot of coffee, but I'll only have one cup usually. And sometimes, I love coffee, but if I'm not feeling well, I won't drink it in the morning. If, like, my stomach's acting up and I'm not feeling too hot, then I won't drink it in the morning. But it's very rare that happens because I really, really love coffee. It tastes so good. I can't help it. Okay.
One more question, and then you had something else you wanted to talk about. So ask me one more question. One more question.
Well, we don't have to talk about the next thing. We could just do these questions. We'll do the next thing next time.
Whatever.
What's a huge story in the news that you care absolutely nothing about?
Donald Trump.
That was a totally loaded question. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's fine. Honestly, I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the media, and I am so tired hearing about our president. And I don't want to get into a political conversation. I don't want to say anything political. And there's certain things about him I'm not a fan of. Not necessarily in a political way, but there's just things that he has done and he has said that I do not agree with, and that I don't have any respect for the man in that aspect because of some of the things he said and done. And when news stories or whatever come on about him, I'm over it. I don't even want to hear it. And then next to that, things that I don't really want to hear about, I don't care about the Kardashians. Like, I just don't care. Don't get me wrong. Like, I kind of like Khloe Kardashian, but that's only because she's very outspoken and she's kind of the black sheep of the family. Not in a bad way, but she's just kind of not like the others. Like, one of these things does not belong or whatever. But I don't understand.
She's like the black sheep?
Yeah. Like, I don't understand why our society is so... Like, why do we care so much about celebrities? Like, don't get me wrong. I have celebrities that I admire and that I find interesting. But when there are so many horrible things going on in our world, and then the biggest news story that we have is that one of the Kardashians had a baby and named it something stupid, or Justin Bieber just got engaged, and what does Selena Gomez think? Who fucking cares? Like, right? I don't care. Like, can we talk about all the starving children in the world, or all these people who are being separated from their children and their parents? There's so much more going on in the world, and I don't understand why celebrity and Hollywood and all of that is on the forefront of all of our news. Yeah. I got nothing. I just don't care. I don't care. And Also, why, this is kind of on topic, but not, but it reminds me of this. Why, and I don't know if they do this in, and I love talking to your boobs, by the way, because that's pretty much all I can see.
They have plenty to say.
Oh, that was funny. So, another thing, why, I don't know if they do this in Minnesota, because I don't watch your news or your weather, but when we have, like, rainstorms or what they call monsoons out here, which we are in the middle of monsoon season right here, why do they
Yeah, but I thought they called them haboobs now. Haboob.
Well, they do. They call them haboobs. So
that's so dumb.
I know, it's so stupid. It's called a dust storm, not a haboob. It's a dust storm. Anyway.
Okay, so monsoons, yep.
So why do news stations think that it's entertainment or that it's necessary to send a news person out into the middle of a storm to report to us that there is a storm? I can look out my window and see that there is a storm. You could show me a picture from the camera on top of your building that there's a storm. Why are you sending this poor little Jackie with her pretty hair and her makeup? Why are you sending her out into the rain? It doesn't make any sense.
It's called hazing.
Okay, well, it's stupid. And, you know, there's that video of the one news anchor that goes out there and the wind kicks up and she gets slammed right into a stop sign.
Okay, that's not funny. We're bad. We're bad people going straight to... I'm sorry. No, please forgive me.
It's not funny in the sense of it's funny. It makes me laugh because it's so stupid. Like, why was she out there? We know there's a hurricane coming. Like, we can see that. Why are you sending this poor girl here? And then she gets slammed into a stop sign. Like, why are you doing that to her?
Oh my. Yeah, that's yeah.
They did that here with a dust storm once. I'm like, why? I'm sitting there watching the local news, and there's this person out there with a microphone. You can't even see them because the dust is so thick. But they're talking, and they're like, it's really windy and dusty out here. Why are you out there? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, I'm just getting a little delirious, so now it's like, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, so things on the news that I don't really care about at all.
Yeah.
That's a tough one because I don't really like to watch the news. I like the human interest stories that are good.
Yeah, I like to hear good stories, yeah.
But I could give a shit less whether or not somebody's text messages got rated or whether or not the Kardashians did anything new or I don't care about all the BS anything, and I think the media is full of shit. So
well, yeah, I agree with you.
I think they only report on, I think they spin things the way that they want you to. They put too much of their own personal opinion into what they're reporting instead of reporting just the facts.
Yes.
And news would be a lot easier if it was just the news in factual form without their inflection or their opinions. It's irritating.
Yeah, I agree. You can't believe anything that you see or hear anymore, and
I know.
I think that's part of the problem in society these days is that people only depend on what the media is telling them for them to make decisions about certain things, and politics being one of them. And apparently their punishments for people who don't do what they want them to is to send them out in a fucking storm so they can slam into a stop sign. Oh, you don't like what we're reporting? Go sit your ass in a hurricane.
Here, let's go talk about this hurricane. Right? You be on the spot.
Oh, boy.
All right. Oh, boy. Well, Van, this was fun. I was going to talk about some of the crazy things that my kids say as far as how some of their slang terms, but I think I'll save it for another day.
Okay.
All right.
Email us, spikedcoffeeandsarcasm@gmail.com. You can listen to us on Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, I missed one. iTunes, thank you. Oh, I missed one. I wasn't 3 for 3. God dang it. You can follow us on I know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
You know, if you have silly stuff you want us to talk about on these Minisodes. Wow.
Minisodes, that's right. I'm a Minisodan.
Minisodes on these minisodes or coffee breaks. Drop us a line, let us know, and we'll talk about it. We really don't mind talking about anything.
Yeah, we can't wait to hear from you. So hit us up.
Hit us up. All right, Chris and Van
hit me
out.
Up, yo.
I'm just kidding.
What?
Chris and Van out.
Mic drop. How's that? How about that?
No,
all right.
Don't do that. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Talk to y'all later.
Oh, Lord.